What is going on, my favorite people of the USFA? We are in the month of May, and we have a state of address going on here today. Got the two admins with me in this one, First Spray and league owner Caboose. Show some love to your people, First Spray. This is your first one, I believe. Show us up. But how you feeling, man?
Yeah, this is my first one. I'm feeling good. I don't think I've ever been on any stream, even disregarding the state of addresses. So pretty hyped for it.
Happy to have you here, man. Need to get you in all of them. We need to hear your voice every now and then. You ain't just some guy on the background doing stuff. You a person too, apparently. And what's up, Caboose? How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. Doing just all right here. Ready to kick this thing off.
Alrighty, then it's your league, man. It's your world. We just living in it. How you feeling? What's up? What's the first thing on the agenda? But before you say anything, shout out to the homies in the chat. How you doing? Hope all is well with you.
Yeah, so a few small changes that have been made. We had a minor vote in the board not too terribly long ago to go over some proposed changes. Two of them got passed, one of them was not. The two that were passed were a move to completely custom offensive playbooks. So no longer are there going to be NFL playbooks being used for offenses. It's going to be completely custom made. I think the rules regarding that is it's a once a season thing. You make one, and then you can, as the seasons go on, you can swap between the ones that you've made. So for right now, you're only going to have the one playbook you make, but next season, when you make your second playbook, you can swap between last year's and your current year's, and that'll continue to grow. So that way, it gets bigger and better.
Most
So a little underwhelming maybe for the first season or two, but once those options become available as the league continues on, it'll really open things up. The other one that was passed was the positional limits at wide receiver and corner. So before we had a positional limit of 5 on wide receiver and corner. That has been moved down to 4. So teams can now only have 4 wide receivers and corners on their team at any given point. So those are the two things that got passed. We do have another one.
Can I say something on that last one real quick?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because I had a few people asking me about it, and he said specifically cornerbacks. That means you could have a free safety and a strong safety, so that's 6 total secondary players you can have per team. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes. Okay, perfect. We do have another one coming up regarding, I believe, player creation. We'll see how that one gets voted on. It's still in voting right now, so I'm not going to disclose results. But there is something regarding player creation being voted on. Another announcement to make is that by the end of this current season, season 8, we are going to have a website.
Woo!
Hooray!
It is, yes. It will be pretty basic. I'm not going to deny that. But it is going to be a website that will take care of our updating purposes so that we can get off of these Google Sheets that we've been on for 3 years. Not 3 seasons, 3 full years we've been on these sheets. So we're finally getting off of those. And let's see. Other, I think, minor things to discuss are... subscriptions. If you haven't gotten that done, just a reminder, get it in. We want you guys to be able to, grow and get better. If you want to work a league job to, earn your sub instead, please come contact me or Stacks or Frey here, and we'll get you set up. And I think the other big thing that we need to talk about is the awards from last season.
Most def.
Unless any of you guys have anything. I don't think we have anything in our question inbox here, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any yet.
Yeah, I don't see any particular questions, so.
One thing I can bring up is we'll be doing some fantasy football this season, and an announcement about that will be coming out tomorrow. So that should be all set up for that.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing to bring up. We will have fantasy football coming for season 8, and TPE prizes will be awarded for that. We do have one question I just saw pop in from Potty here. What is the end game for the league? Do we have an end game? Frey, since it's your first time, you want to take the first crack at that?
Oh, geez.
Put you on the spot here a little bit.
We had to put you on the spot. It's your first time. We got to break the chair,
Yeah.
I mean, end game is just to keep growing and be the biggest sim league and around, and that's not just football, but like have a collection of different sports that we have this whole almost like universe of sim leagues that are interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We do that is part of the goal. I don't know end game if I am legally allowed to say what my end game is, because I do have a non-disclosure.
Yeah.
So, all I'm gonna say is it's big, and it's going to be something that no one's ever seen or done before. It will completely remove the need for us to mod Madden. It will replace Madden. We can, it will replace Super Mega Baseball. It'll replace NBA. It'll replace any sport we desire to go into. That's what my plan entails a little bit. I'm not going to get into the specifics of how it's going to do that, but I want to be able to do things my way and not be subjugated to whatever EA or 2K studio decides that, I don't want to be at their beck and call or the whim.
Amen to that.
Stacks, you got any end game things?
Other
than not doing streaming?
Yeah, it would be nice to have a lot of other streamers to be able to perform, get everything out. But I think from a USFA standpoint, I would love to see 20 plus teams in here, everyone active, everyone growing, everyone's hype. That's just naturally going to happen with more people chipping in, helping out, doing their thing, and then see if we can mix some magic here. Maybe we can even go further and match what's in the NFL, have a full-fledged league, full divisions and everything. And I think that'll be pretty cool to do. But yeah. Oh, I got a question in my in the Twitch chat here. Sees it's a candy cane. Yeah, it's like Stacks. How hard is it to work with Caboose? I don't even have the time on this particular stream to go into that. I'm not even going to lie to you, but honestly, it's really not hard at all. It really isn't hard. He has a certain way. He has a certain way of doing things, and a lot of times I agree with him. Is he's never really trying to put the league in a bad position to be great. And that's what I'm looking for as well. If I see something like iffy, I'm going to talk my shit as normal. But for the most part, like we all talk like professionals. We're humans. At the end of the day, we feel don't know how we feel about certain things, but as long as we meet in the middle, that's what's most important for the rest of you guys.
Yeah. I think the last question we got before I'm going to move into the awards section for the Season 7 USFA. We have from Krim here, will any changes work with the new web page? Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, but
Nice pass.
anything and everything that you can do on the current sheets, you'll be able to do in a more clean and user-friendly interface on the web page. But I think from here we're going to go into awards. Give me just a moment to get my thoughts together on this. And by thoughts, I mean oops, that's not right. Delete that.
It wouldn't be any stream if there wasn't at least one mess up.
I need to get all the ballots together.
Mm-hmm. And Kane, yes, I do deserve a raise, and yes, the league is moving up. Yes, I 100% agree with that.
Okay, this is your ballot. There's his ballot. And where did my ballot go? There it is. All right, so let's. Do you want to start offense or defense this season?
Let's keep it normal. Let's move to the offense. Let's do it.
All right. Quarterback of the year. Looks like we have a pretty unanimous decision here. Our quarterback of the year nominees are Hank Falco from Charlotte, Sean Bridges from Tacoma, Money Mills from Arizona. All three of these guys had some huge seasons for their respective teams, but the winner of this year's quarterback of the year is going to be Hank Falco from Charlotte. I believe that is a unanimous decision here.
It better have been unanimous.
For me, right, it was a no-brainer for me. I mean, almost 1,000 yards, passing above second place, almost 50 touchdowns, and only 1% interception rate. So it's just mind-boggling numbers, honestly.
Yeah. Moving up on to running back of the year, halfback of the year. We're going to have, I believe it's another unanimous decision. But the nominees are Doc Boone from New York, Up to No Good from Huntington Beach, and Ulf Jacobson from Arizona. Again, all of these guys had excellent seasons. Doc Boone, probably one of the most electrifying rookies in the league right now. But this year's running back of the year award is going to go to Ulf Jacobson from Arizona.
Another no-brainer, just like you said, man. Ulf was a monster every single time he touched the football, and I know because I've seen every game and I've called every game. So every time he's on the field, he stood out. It's too easy for them in.
Yeah,
I mean, you could tell when Arizona was struggling, it was because the other team was shutting Ulf down, and he was the whole offense on Arizona.
And the thing about it is, you hardly ever seen him get shut down. but when you did, like, yeah, just like you said, it's like, oh.
Yeah. So all right, we'll move on to wide receiver of the year here. I think it's another unanimous decision. This year's nominees are Jerry Riggs from Dallas. I believe that is Kevin Lee from St. Louis. And we have Joseph from Anchorage. So I'll make sure you get that, Krim. The winner this year for wide receiver of the year, like I said, unanimous, is going to be Joseph in his last season in the league. He just retired this offseason, so congratulations to Joseph.
Great way for him to end his career for sure. And just like how he started when he was with Charlotte, he was definitely that dominant force when he moved eventually over to Anchorage as well. He didn't get all the targets as all like when he made the move because the quarterback play changed a little bit, getting familiar with how he played. But outside of that, when he's on the field, you better put a big, strong, fast body on him, or he'll take it for 6 every single time, and he did that.
Yeah. Up next, we have our tight end of the year, the tightest of tight ends. The nominees are Evan Hunt from Tampa Bay, Vic Dotson from Charlotte, and Gataki Dracos out of New York. I'd say, again, Hunt, Dotson, and Dracos definitely up there among the elite tight ends this season. But unanimously voted upon, it is going to be Vic Dotson from Charlotte taking home tight end of the year this year.
I mean, crazy season by Dotson. He was the only receiver to have over 100 receptions, and he led the whole league in yards, and touchdowns. Or no, not quite touchdowns, but he led tight ends in touchdowns.
Who beat him in touchdowns?
Yeah.
That was Joseph. He had 18.
Did he? Oh. Okay, I'll take number 2. Fine. I forgot he had that little bit that you have to add both of them. Damn it. But it's all good.
All right. Well, we're moving on to our second to last offensive position. We added one this year. But this year, for kicker punter of the year, our nominees are going to be Greg Williams IV from Dallas, Trey Pointer from Tampa Bay, and Brent Skoma out of St. Louis. All our kickers, these 3 kickers did awesome this year. But the winner of this year's kicker punter of the year is going to be going to Greg Williams IV from Dallas. Excellent season from him. I don't think he missed like maybe 1 kick all year. Maybe. If you guys want to touch on
dude
that.
Was great. One thing I noticed when I was looking at stats was the kickers tended to either be a good kicker or be a good punter. But this guy from Dallas, he was great at both. I mean, he was the only kicker to have over 90% in both field goal and extra point percentage. And then I think, he had 12 punts inside the 20. So he was great kicking and punting. So much deserved for kicker of the year.
Yeah. And then the last offensive position, it's a new one this year that we were doing because we were able to track the stat, but is kick returner of the year. And the nominees are going to be Earl Flint from Tampa Bay, Mike Hawk from Pittsburgh, and Kevin Lee out of St. Louis. And this year's winner is going to be Mike Hawk out of Pittsburgh, getting 2 of the 3 first place votes. So, you guys want to touch on him a little bit?
I mean,
you go.
You do.
I'm just gonna say, I feel like these stats were definitely slightly inflated from early in the season when we're still kind of figuring out how to balance these kick returners well. but still, great for Mike Hawk. You know, he had 2 touchdowns or 2 kickoffs returned for a touchdown, and a pretty high average as well. So
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be an issue
I,
going forward too. With the addition of the bump up with the attributes, we shouldn't be seeing that problem anymore.
yeah. Did I not put a defense? There it is. Nope, that's a defensive rookie. Did I not put my lineman? Am
you
I
did
the
not.
big dumb? Oh, okay. I guess I didn't nominate one. That's unfortunate. So our defensive tackles of the year, we're going to split these into defensive tackle and defensive end instead of just one big D lineman. But defensive tackle of the year nominees are going to be Todd Ziegler, Jesse Leva, and Matthew Ousley. Let me see if I can find teams for those really quick.
Matthew Ousley, that's Tampa, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're correct.
Todd Ziegler, that's Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And
Jesse Leva,
Jesse Leva,
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. Yeah.
So the winner this year is going to be out of Pittsburgh, Todd Ziegler, winning defensive tackle of the year. Moving next on to defensive end of the year, we have Blaze Baxter from St. Louis, Andre Krim of Arizona, and Lee Flowers of Charlotte as our nominees. And this season, it is going to be the first season doing defensive end of the year is going to be Blaze Baxter from St. Louis.
Yeah, he
Yes.
had a pretty good season. You know, with both the defensive ends and defensive tackles, the stats weren't quite as high as you might expect it because it was a new position, so the players are still low in TPE. But Baxter did a great job. He led the league in sacks at 7, and he also had 2 forced fumbles to boot. So great season for him, even at low TPE, as he was been building it up.
That brings us over to linebacker of the year, and I think, is this one unanimous? I don't think it is. No, it is not. We do have a bit of a change up here. But this year's nominees are going to be Arn Jacobson from Charlotte, Rock Blazer, not to be confused with Blaze Baxter, but Rock Blazer from St. Louis, and Tyler Rogalski from Arizona. And I think if my numbers are correct, it is going to be. Oh, hold on. 2, 3. And oh no. Yeah, okay. It is going to be Tyler Rogalski out of Arizona taking home this award, having, I think, 2 first place votes by the looks of things. Excellent season from Rogalski.
Worth the price of admission. And if you remember that playoff game, he had like 28 and a half tackles or something like that. Like, what is wrong with him? Real sweet though. He definitely earned it for sure. I love the rookies coming out.
Yeah, and as a rookie, he really stepped up to the plate from the very first game because that was against Dallas, and in the fourth quarter, he had a pick 6 to, I can't remember if he gave us the lead or tied the game, and unfortunately, Jerry Riggs had to go and score a touchdown to give them the lead. But right from the get go, Rogalski was just ready to play and definitely earned this award.
Also, shout out to Arn as well. Almost 130 tackles on the year. That's crazy.
Yeah, man was huge. Just didn't quite put up the secondary stats needed. I'm gonna try and consolidate some stuff here so I don't have to go scrolling around. as much. And oops. So we're moving up onto cornerback of the year here. And looks like we have a unanimous decision here. However, the nominees are going to be Lacey Woodson from Anchorage, X-Pac from Huntington Beach, and Ricardo Lopez out of Charlotte. And this year, the winner is going to be X-Pac out of Huntington Beach, taking home CB of the year. I think it's in his first season, too.
Yes, it is. He was a rookie as well, doing his thing, man. Love X-Pac, man. He was one of my big acquisitions in the draft, and I definitely glad I picked him up. He's such a beast.
Yeah, so that means we're going to move over to safety of the year, and as I continue to try and make my life a little easier by consolidating posts, it looks like this one's going to be a tough one. As we have, for the nominees, we have Preston Dotson out of St. Louis, John Carter from Tacoma, and Jay Mangham from Dallas. All three great safeties, great players, but with a total of 8 points in voting, it is going to be Preston Dotson from St. Louis taking home safety of the year.
Woo!
Stacks, do you want to celebrate yourself a little bit?
Woo! I mean, he did a little bit of everything. I think what got him over the top was just his tackle count. Most likely, he's the only safety, I believe, over 100. Barely cracked it, but he did crack it, and I'm happy for him. This is definitely not his first award he's gotten. Hopefully, not his last, but I'm liking his progression. Hopefully, keeps it moving. And shout out to the rest of the safeties as well. It was a real tough race all around.
Oh yeah, it was. Jay Mangum did not finish too far behind there, finishing with 1 first place and 2 second place votes, I think. So moving along, that is it for the positional awards. We are going to move into the more prestigious overarching awards. So for our offensive rookie of the year, actually, hold up. You know what? No, let's do our I always start with this one. Always start with this one. The Good Samaritan Award.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, the Good Samaritan Award that we do here is the player or individual, the user that we feel has gone most above and beyond to help promote the growth of the league. It's quite literally it's the most important award we can give out for anyone at any given point. So without further ado, this year's nominees are going to be Turts, Andre Krim, and Stacks up again for this award. And a little bit just about what the 3 nominees have done. Turts took over our weekly pick'ems and was running those despite not getting paid for it TPE wise. Was really helpful, helped bring a lot of engagement and fun to the league. Krim came in about midway through the season, and immediately started putting out media content, some of our first podcast work that we've had from the league. And then Stacks.
Oh, he's done nothing.
He doesn't do much around here.
I'm
He
just
complains about not getting enough chicken.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No. But this year, the winner of the Good Samaritan Award is going to be Andre Krim. Congratulations, good sir. This is an awesome accomplishment. Congrats.
It's the one I was looking forward to seeing. I knew I wasn't going to win it. I knew I was there, but I knew I wasn't going to win it. But if there was anyone to do it, it'll either be him or Turks. They're definitely rightfully up there. But not just with Krem doing the podcast and stuff. He even chipped in and got some commentary in there for us as well. That is awesome to hear. I love to hear him a lot more going forward in season 8 if he would graciously help us out with that. And definitely well deserved. And I'd love to see more from you and the rest of the crew next year. I'm going to see that pool get a lot bigger for sure.
Yeah. Next, let's go over to the GM of the year. Another non-positional one that I'd like to do just before we get into the big ones, offensive, defensive players of the year kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This year's GM of the year nominees, if I can find the last submission right there. If it will stop messing with me. Here we go. So we have a very unanimous in all three votes. But our nominees for GM of the year this year are Big Noof for New York, bringing them to the playoffs in their first year and the first expansion team to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
First Trey with Arizona for his basically last place to first place.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite first place, but yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
First in the West. No, not even that. Sorry. No. Yes, you did.
Yeah, first in the West. Last in the West.
First in the West, standing wise.
Yeah.
Standing wise, but not the outcome you wanted. But it is what it is. It still counts.
Postseason doesn't get put into this. Postseason is completely separate. So, and then Caboose with Charlotte with the 13-1 record, and I think, given that information, it's not a surprise that I'm going to be taking home the GM of the Year award. Hopefully my last GM of the Year award, because that means I would be out of GMing.
And that's a shameless plug right there. If you want to do it, hit us up, fill out the form.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely well deserved though for Charlotte and for Caboose, how he ran that team. It was like clockwork watching you guys week in and week out. Destroyed the competition everywhere outside of that one time Huntington Beach played you. But outside of that, you killed the game.
Fluke win.
I mean, it was a crazy season. It was just like, when is Charlotte going to lose? They just kept winning until Dax came along. But definitely amazing
you got
season.
your win back, so you ain't too mad.
Yeah, I got it back. Moving along now we're going to get into our big, offensive, defensive players of the year. Starting with our offensive rookie of the year, we have nominees are Jerry Riggs out of Dallas, Money Mills from Arizona, and Up to No Good from Huntington Beach. So 3 rookies out of the West. They're all really huge pieces of their teams this season. But the winner this year is going to be Jerry Riggs from Dallas, taking home the offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, much deserved for him. He came in with a rookie quarterback, and he just dominated. Like, he was the feature receiver in Dallas, and I think, did he have was it a 4 or 5 touchdown game?
I think it was 4, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
4, yeah.
Just burnt whoever he was playing to a crisp. I don't even remember which game it was for, but I remember they just sent him deep and it was over. But
pretty much, yeah.
Definitely well deserved.
Moving moving along here. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Our nominees are Rock Blazer from St. Louis, Jay Mangum from Dallas, and Tyler Rogalski from Arizona. Again, some awesome players all around. But this year's Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to be a unanimous decision. Tyler Rogalski out of Arizona taking home the win for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Kind of hard to argue that he wins the linebacker of the year and not get that one too. It's kind of hard not to think that would be the case, but he was just a monster all season for the homie Tyler.
Yeah. Absolutely. Moving straight along in here, unless First Ray has something he wants to say, we're going to have Offensive Player of the Year. First Ray, anything? Go once.
No, nothing to add.
Cool. Cool. Offensive Player of the Year, we have nominees are Ulf Jacobson from Arizona, Hank Falco from Charlotte, and Vic Dotson from Charlotte. And this one had a very lengthy debate on it.
We've had longer.
And
we've had longer ones.
We've definitely had longer. I just chose to stop engaging in it because I figured y'all were going to vote however you were going to vote, and no matter what I said, it wasn't going to change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So this year's winner is Hank Falco from Charlotte. And all these players are 100% deserving of Offensive Player of the Year. They all had excellent seasons. I think the mindset behind it was statistically Hank Falco had a better season from a statistics standpoint. But that's it was a beast this year. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not mad that he won it one bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was thinking on my side for Hank Falco, he had a almost 10-to-1 passer, 10-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's unheard of right there. He threw 5 picks, so just a matter of that. Was that 1% interception percentage that you said earlier, First Free? I'm pretty sure it was what I said. Yeah. It's kind of hard, he was balling every single time he threw the football. He almost threw for almost 75%. I mean, you could kind of go down the list of how great he was this season, and it showed out in the record too with how good Charlotte was.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we have Defensive Player of the Year. We're to the best defensive player this season. Our nominees are Rock Blazer from St. Louis, Arn Jacobson from Charlotte, and Tyler Rogalski again from Arizona. And if you've been paying attention, it shouldn't come as no surprise that this one is being won by Tyler Rogalski out of Arizona, taking home linebacker, defensive rookie, and defensive player this season.
You love the rookies getting the hat trick of awards there, man. That's pretty cool right there, and I'm pretty sure that's the first one in a minute to have all 3, or at least have 3 of them.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I think it's probably
as a rookie. Too.
Yeah. I think that was probably the last one.
But
he might have. I think offensive player, rookie, and the MVP, maybe. Yeah. So real good job by Tyler. Thanks. Great job.
And the last one, the big one, is the MVP, judged most valuable to his team. This one's not necessarily strictly stat-based. It is how many wins did this individual single-handedly, more or less. And our nominees are Hank Falco from Charlotte, Tyler Rogalski again from Arizona, and Ulf Jacobson from Arizona. And considering the seasons these two teams had, it's not a surprise to see some of their players up in here.
Mm-hmm.
But this year's winner for most valuable player is Ulf Jacobson from Arizona.
Definitely the right call, in my opinion. Over 1,000 yards receiving, over 2K rushing, all the touchdowns. I lost count doing all the
39.
games and stuff. Oh yeah, you were counting because it's your player, but me as a commentary guy, like it seemed like every game he was popping off for like 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, and I don't think he's had a game where he didn't have at least one. I'm pretty sure. So he was definitely a huge benefactor for this Arizona team. It showed it in their record. Unfortunately, didn't get them to the promised land like they wanted to, but you got to give him credit where credit is due. He's definitely that man.
Yeah, when a dude is accounting for over 250 yards per game, that's like, I mean, just hand him the award. Like, that's insane stuff.
Yeah. But that is it for the awards. I don't see any other questions popping up in the chat here, so thank y'all for jumping in. Unless there's anything else y'all got to add, I've got nothing else.
I think I'm good.
Well, I got something to say. The season starts next week, man. Come on, get some hype in the chat. That's what like everything's
Season
pretty much
next
looking.
Week,
yeah,
go in, get your peeps ready.
I'm trying to tell you, get your popcorn, get your updates, your subscriptions, all the good stuff. Join in on all the various jobs we have available if you got the time. Help us out a little bit. Help make this league the best league, which it already is, in my opinion. But that's just me being biased, and I'm running the shit in regards to the games and stuff. But shout out to everybody. Thanks again for stopping by. Got plenty more content coming for you. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, without further ado then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming around. Congratulations to all our awards winners, and we will see you for the start of... Oh, wait, hold on. Pro Bowl. I'll announce those later, but Pro Bowl will be announced on the forums.
Yeah, we'll post up the forums. We'll get you in the chat. We'll let you know who made it.
Yeah. And be sure to turn in for the Pro Bowl game tomorrow at whatever time Stacks decides to get out of bed.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Check us off.
All righty. Stay tuned for more content. As always, love each and every one of you. And for First Spray and Caboose, it's your boy Stacks. We out here.